Hey, it's me, Queen Sensitivity, and I am back with another spiritual download video. If you couldn't tell, I am very tired, but Spirit said it was important for me to share, so here I am. I think we definitely will be pulling some cards today. I don't know if it'll be a pick-a-pile or what yet. I've just been guided to speak about what I've been experiencing, and hopefully it empowers you and encourages you to, I guess, like, be less critical and less harsh of yourself. I may be forgetful, I may misspeak, so please do your best to pick up on what I mean intuitively, and more so in what I say. I don't know if I want to say this. Okay. I've been called to share. I've been called to share that I have been experiencing a lot of ascension symptoms. And, just to elaborate a little bit, ascension symptoms are symptoms of increasing our vibrations, increasing our level of remembrance and our level of consciousness about who we are truly, and remembering that we are one. Basically, I think that's a good gist. And so we've been being hit, all of us, and as well as pulling out these truths from within us, but we've been being hit as a planet by a lot of humongous energies. Right now, as I'm recording this, I believe there just was some sort of hybrid eclipse that only happens like 7 times every 100 years. And so some of my symptoms have been extreme exhaustion and fatigue all the time. I do have moments where I am more energetic, and they usually burn out pretty quickly. I've been having insomnia at night. I feel like at night is when a lot of stuff happens. Like, as far as like, I get a lot of messages, communications. Like, I feel like when I go to sleep in my dreams, I'm just doing a lot of work. And so my body like reacts to stuff that I'm doing. And she will wake up like, I don't like this. And I wake up feeling very uncomfortable and kind of anxious. Crystals have been helping me. Using Epsom salt when I take showers have helped me, because a lot of people always encourage earthing or grounding yourself. I see 333. I've been seeing 33 all day. Earthing and grounding yourself with nature helps. It has helped me, but I can't always do that. I can't. I feel like people forget to say that part. A lot of people, we don't live in like these very nice organic environments. I live in the suburbs, and as I speak now, there are at least 100 people near me building apartment complexes, tearing down trees. So it's not always available. And I also don't have the energy a lot of the times to go to a park or something and sit there. And like I said, a lot of the parks, they have all these man-made structures, whatever. So anyways, if you're struggling with stuff like that, don't have a lot of grass around you, don't have a lot of plants around you, I would recommend Epsom salt. I think like the regular kind isn't that expensive, even though everything is kind of expensive now. I think the most Epsom salt will cost is about $5, $5 to $6 at the most. But what I do, because I can't always take baths either. I mean, I can. I'm blessed where I have a tub, but I'm like, I have to clean the tub every time I take a bath, and I don't feel like cleaning the tub every time I take a bath. So I take showers, and what I'll do is get Epsom salt, and I'll just scrub it over my body and then rinse it off, and that helps a lot. At night, recently, I've been burning like 3 sages at night. I feel like this is gonna be fairly personal today, but because I just feel like the nighttime it's like my work time, and in the day I'm just so exhausted. I have been able to take naps, so I'm very grateful for that. Other symptoms that I had vertigo very bad the other day. I feel like vertigo isn't a good enough word. I felt like I was a wave on a flat surface, and I was just like all the time. Even now, I try not to get up too fast, not move too fast. I'm not able to do a lot of even the short tarot reels because I was doing those, I think, last week or the week before a lot from when I posted this video. And it would just take so much out of me to post just one little thing. And so I'm very grateful for everybody who takes the time to watch my reels and anything I post, because it takes a lot out of me to share those things. It takes a lot out of me to share this video. I've had headaches here, third eye, chakra, lots of upgrades there. I've had like random visions of things. I was in the movies and I just closed my eyes just to blink, I think. And I saw like this huge moon that was pink, and it was like far away, but I felt like it was like the energy of the divine feminine, or the mother, aspect of source, of God, of spirit. So that was cool. I've had different stuff like that happen. I've also had forgetfulness. I called my sister by my name. I don't know how I did that. I did something else that I can't remember. But I do remember like a few days ago, I was in the kitchen with my mama. I think I was cooking. I was cooking me some food. And she was like, "You put the egg carton in the sink." And I was like, "Oh." I left the egg carton in the sink. I don't know. I just had stuff like that happening. What else? I wake up every day feeling anxious. I remember S.A. Smith, who I often would like repost her Ascension symptoms. She was saying how excitement and anxiety are pretty close and interlinked. And so I feel like I'm feeling like my higher self knows it's excitement for stuff happening, but like my my 3D, everyday human self is like taking it as anxiety, and I wake up feeling like there's stuff I need to do. I've had a lot of irritability with being around people. I've also been kind of forced into isolation, where I mean this by like people moving away from me. I guess so that I could have all these spiritual downloads and energetic upheavals. I'm telling you all this so that you can, if you've had similar symptoms, you can relate. I feel like it's important for me to share these things. Yeah. I've also been feeling other people's energy more. Like people, I don't know, I feel like I've just been driving my family kind of crazy. I don't know. I feel like I've been doing a good job, but I have stuff where it's like, I can feel people's energy so strongly. They don't even got to be doing nothing. They could be just sitting, being quiet, and it could just drive me up the wall that they're just there being quiet, because it feels like so loud. It's an example would be like when a person, I think, has like a concussion, or just a huge sensitivity to sound. Like I know some people with autism have on the spectrum of autism, like sensitivities to sound. And like to one person, it could be like a person with a concussion, this little tap like this could just be deafening. What was that? It was like a movie like that where she had to get used to sound, Superhero or something like that. That's how I am, but with like people's energy just driving me up the wall. I've had many moments of like extreme joy and just bliss, and then I've had opposite moments of like feeling scared and feeling all these fears and feeling inadequate, or just the opposites of just back and forth. I feel like I definitely would need to break a lot of frustration. And so I'm telling you all this to say, please embrace every part of yourself that is coming up. I feel like this symbol is important. I put on this hoodie today because I was like, I never wear this hoodie. And I always want to appreciate, you know, things that I have. I feel like this looks like a trident, kind of like Poseidon. Was it King Arthur? I don't know, but yeah, just take all of this. If you've been having any of these things, just take it to mean that you are very powerful, you are very seen, and you are very critical to the times that we are in. Everything that you are experiencing, every choice that you choose to make is extremely sacred. You are a sacred being experiencing a very sacred process. And so just try not to resist. I feel like that's been like my main message from Source. I've gotten this message so many times, even from like a little tea bag, the little tea bags that have like the little quotes. And it was just saying, you have to trust. You have to trust in your abundance. That's how you are abundant. You have to trust that you are safe. I've been going down different trails at the park that I never used to go down because I used to always have my highest priority be my own safety because I often do these things alone. But Spirit has been telling me that you're never safe in the way that you think you're safe. You could literally, like, especially now, and we know in these times, going to school is extremely dangerous. Going to church can be extremely dangerous. Going to the grocery store can be extremely dangerous. Driving, walking in your neighborhood, like you're never safe in the way that you thought you were. It's these birds outside, but you're always safe, you know, with Spirit, with Source, with yourself. You know, ask for protection of yourself and trust it. You have to trust it. I hope everybody is safe. I hope that you feel safe, and I hope that you allow yourself to grow more trustworthy of hope, of having faith that everything is working for your highest good. Okay? Mm-hmm. Is that all? Yeah, just keep trusting your intuition. Whatever you feel inclined to do. I feel like everybody is in like that pregnancy zone where like you, or even when your period is about to come on, like what's called premenstrual. I don't know, where it's like, oh, I'm on my period or my period's about to come on, so it's okay if I eat this bag of Oreos. Like, you know, you have to just not judge yourself and just keep going with your instincts, because I've heard and I have resonated with the truth that we are going back and to how we used to be, and also going forward to, you know, how we are, where we don't rely so much on these regimens and like even language and how we go about stuff. You do A, you do B, you do C, you do D, you do E, you do F, you know, on and on, very organized way, and what makes sense to the logical mind. We have to go back to intuition, how something feels, reading energy. How does this feel? I've had experiences where people, they say one thing, I know we all have, but we can feel that they mean something else. Or I have had, you know, it's so crazy, where I've heard, and I mentioned this in my last video, like somebody's higher self telling me something, but then the actual person will tell me the opposite. And it's like, who do I trust? Who do I trust? Well, obviously, always trust the highest version of anything. Always trust the highest version of anything. And that's what we have to be, you know. And I feel like this is like reintegration into that, where I'm kind of out of control, but within the flow of things, which is ultimately within the control of my highest consciousness, my highest vibration, which is connected to God. Does that make sense? It's like you're out of control because you don't know how you're going to feel and what's going to make you upset, but it's going to make you extremely happy. One moment when you're going to want to not eat anything, when you're going to want to eat like a whole bunch of stuff. That's how I've been. I've been like moments where I don't feel hungry at all. And then suddenly I can't get enough food. It's just crazy stuff. So you're out of control. And so it forces you to like be in this flow state of like this stream of light. But that stream of light, with that sound, that stream of light is your highest self. That is you in control. That's you aligning with divine will. Does that make sense? And the best way, the easiest way for you is just try not to resist. Just try to surrender to everything. That's what I have been doing. It's very hard. Whenever anything comes up that makes me uncomfortable, I try to just sit with it and not judge myself for having those feelings or having that upsetment or anger or whatever, or even likeness about something I don't want to like. You know, you just sit with it and you let it be. And I feel like that's how you integrate it. No more suppression. Suppressing my emotions is very bad for me because it just messes up my gut. I have a lot of trouble with my digestive system that I am healing. So yay for that. But yeah, I have gotten a lot of wisdom from Ramona Lappin and S.A. Smith and just other people on the internet and just in the world, even children. Today I saw a Dalmatian dog, and this Dalmatian dog was hanging out the window of a car, and I'm pretty sure it's a boy, had blue eyes, and he was just looking at me like, and I was like, hey, he was just like, and on the sticker of the car window was the number 11, and so 11 is like the portal number. And then I also think of like Dalmatians as like both the shadow and the light and the dark, you know, good and bad, whatever, being in harmony. And it's also 11 is a twin flame number, which, you know, just represents divine masculine, divine feminine in their union merging together. So this is what I mean by allowing all the parts of yourself, all of them. And maybe especially the things that you don't like or that upset you. Most importantly, I just saw 111 on the clock. Allowing all these things to have room. Dissociative identity disorder has been something that has come into my field of view recently. I've always been fascinated with the idea of dissociative identity disorder, Shutter Island, and then now Yellow Jackets with the character, I don't remember her name, Ty, the Yellow Jackets character. She has a dissociative identity disorder as diagnosed by me. But it's like, I remember and then also that movie Split. I remember the phrase that they said in the Yellow Jackets, which I've watched recently, the show on, was it Showtime? Whatever. She was saying like the other self, the other identity was saying, when Ty lets me come out, then I can finally, like, she let me be seen. And it comes from, usually, I think what scientists have discovered, from like extreme trauma, and your identity splits itself into these different states, and they have to share like the light. And it's because that person disassociated. This is me being, I'm not a professional at all. This is just me being me. So just take this, whatever resonates. Please don't take this as factual. But it's like your identity is like you disassociated from yourself. And I've talked about this many times to people around me about how I've seen this happen in the Black community, where we don't recognize ourselves because we've been split from our roots. Like, a lot of Black people in America, for instance, we don't know, like everybody else gets to know where their countries are from, like where their country. We get a continent, a whole continent of people. And you know, you don't get your associated from yourself. So if somebody came from you from, you know, where you came from in Africa, you wouldn't even notice, you wouldn't even connect with them unless you do it energetically. And so I know I'm like going on, I probably sound crazy, it's okay, but this is what I mean before about going back to intuition, intuitively, how you feel energetically, telepathically, messages that you are getting. Because if you just keep going based off of what you see or what something looks like or even what you've been told, that's what keeps on perpetuating this separation and keeps on making all these problems, because you keep going based on lies. It's basically what is lies to just keep you trapped and confused. I feel like a lot of confusion and misunderstanding happens that way. And so just going back to the social identity disorder, if you were to heal that, I feel like the goal would be to integrate and accept all of those different aspects of yourself that you don't like and you aren't proud of, that you are ashamed of. And I feel like only you would know the best way to do this for you. And so I feel like as a generality, as general rule, just be and sit with them. And try not to fight them off, those feelings that make you uncomfortable, those beliefs that you don't like. I know I have them. I think a lot of mine are just like me wanting to be judgmental for other people, for, I don't know, what they've said and stuff like that. It's a lot of stuff, but just sit with them. Try not to be like, oh, why are you so terrible for you're terrible for thinking these things, or oh, you're being lazy. I feel like laziness is something that I'm really getting over, the idea of being lazy. Because we do so much stuff. All of us, I just want to say everybody who is alive is doing so much work. Because again, as I've mentioned before in my readings, we get advertised to so much subliminal messages all the time. Like children who just watch Disney Channel. I don't even know if kids watch Disney Channel anymore, but we're constantly getting advertised to. You're doing a lot of work with your mind by just absorbing all of this stuff. And so I don't know, I feel like that's just something that I've been healing. Okay, so now messages for the collective from Spirit. I was called to get tarot cards because I feel like tarot cards have pretty complex meanings, if I do say so myself. That song has been like coming up to me a lot. What song it is? Is it Drunken Love? Where Jay-Z is like, if I do say so myself, if I do say so myself. And I remember one day my mama was telling me that he had that liquor called Douce, and it was a play on words. And I feel like that's important. It was also in Romeo and Juliet. I remember like when Juliet said something to Romeo and it was like a double meaning. And I feel that's what I've been saying. It's a thread. It's a motif that's connected throughout this video of like what somebody says and then what somebody means can be two different things. And then also came up in a book that I stopped reading. I think it's called The Glass Sword. I don't have it with me. Aveyard. It's the Red Queen series, the second book. And the brother was like, they appear weak and fragile. Like they appear like that on purpose. And he meant it to say like about this outside group of people. But it was also a message for his sister to be the same way. Like this idea of double meanings. And I feel like also with the Dalmatian. And I feel like we're getting rid of that. I I feel like that it has to show up first. It has to be revealed that all these double meanings, double messages, split things have been occurring before it's cleared out. Like you can't heal what you never reveal, is another Jay-Z quote. I feel like a lot of people just underrate Jay-Z, even though, you know, he's not underrated, but I feel like even still, I feel like even I underestimate Jay-Z. But you can't heal what you never reveal. So, and that's why I say be happy if you're experiencing all these things. I just saw 44 that I've mentioned, because it's like, if you're going through all these things, I've never felt like this in my life. And I felt a lot of emotions being a highly sensitive person, being an extreme empath. I felt a lot of things in my life, but I've never experienced what I'm feeling now. And it's like, the fact that I'm experiencing this means that extraordinary things are happening. This is your proof. If you're one of those people who like to see proof, the work that's going on inside of you is changing your beliefs, and your beliefs change your reality. I keep hearing the song also, this is upside down, Happiness by Taylor Swift. I keep hearing it over and over. Honey, when I'm above the trees, I see this for what it is. Like that. When I'm above the trees, I see this for what it is. And I'm hearing a playing field, a game. That song, Battlefield by Jordan Sparks, will always be iconic. Okay, one more. Okay, and then I'm gonna get clarifiers. I'm tired. I need to set this out. The Fool is on the bottom of the deck. I feel like this is what I meant. Surrender. You just go with it. Sometimes I just get like hysteria, and I'll just be laughing just so hard at nothing at all. And other times, like, something happens and I'm like, oh, I want to cry. You just have to be a fool. You have to be the happy fool, which is something I've heard Ramona Lappin say a lot. Be the happy fool. Be the fool. Oh, the sun on the bottom of the deck. I'm gonna take this one out. I'm gonna put it here. All right, clarify this second one, please. Ooh, this card keeps coming out. Clarify this one, and then this last one, please, with 2. Ooh, got Action, bottom of the deck, and also Archangel Michael. I just saw 1111. Okay, please give me strength. I remember like Norbit, he was like, Lord, give me strength. Lord, give me strength. Who said that at Norbit? Was it Norbit? So yeah, be the happy fool. Change is coming. I feel like surprises are happening for everybody, but I also feel like on a deeper level, we kind of already knew what was going to happen. So I feel like a lot of doubts could be coming up now, because things that feed off of your energy of doubt and pain and suffering, they're going to keep on trying to make you doubt, so they can keep trying their best to hold on to you as you ascend, another word for like rising up and forgetting, leaving all that stuff in the past and integrating everything so you don't feel so separate from yourself. That's what I mean. I don't know if I do a good job of making everything make sense. 35 is very important for me. I was told the other day that every time I see 35, I should think 10 of Cups. If you see the number 35, think 10 of Cups. Ultimate, infinite abundance, all your dreams coming true. If you see 35, know that is a message from Spirit about that. And then with first chakra, Archangel Michael, the first chakra is the root chakra. I feel like a lot of DNA healing, ancestral wounds, generational curses are being healed and broken through you watching this video right now. So thank you for doing that for the children, for our inner children, for the inner children of other people. Okay, So now we have Nine of Wands, which was in reverse. So a lot of work. So just saying a lot of work has been being done. I know. And also with it in reverse, it's both and. Again, a phrase that I've heard from Ramona Lappin. The reason I keep saying it, I want to make sure I'm not like taking somebody's ideas and just like not mentioning like that I heard this from them. And I'm pretty sure she heard this from somebody else. But it's like you have to be both, because underneath it is the Sun's card, which kind of reminds me of a vacation time. And so it's like, which is a lot of work. Being both is what I mean by that. I just saw 33 again, is being both active. If you feel inclined to do something, if you get an intuitive nudge to do something, do it, please. But also relax and like let go. Relax, take a lot of time to rest, go to sleep, do nothing. But then also when you feel called to do something, do it. So it's like, it's working together with the universe. It's co-creation, which is something I feel is very important. I feel like I want to mention this because I think it's important. When I was in, I think, 10th grade geography, I remember my teacher would always put us into groups. And I remember around that same time, I think I read an article or something that was saying that not all children benefit from always being forced into these group activities. And I've always had this thing where I love people. Like, I love to study people. I love people's habits. I love to hear people's thoughts and people's stories. But being around people is often very draining for me. And so I feel like what I mean by, like, this is divine co-creation, like how it used to be with equality and balance and reciprocity. Again, that Dalmatian, the yin and yang, yin yang flow of things. It's the returning of that, because what I often feel like people would just be like pulling off of my energy in these groups. It wasn't equal. I was suffering and everybody else was like fine with everything going on. And so but I feel like on a higher level, we all have to work together. We are one. We have to be together. And so we're going through massive healing of taking from people and not giving back to people, like a rebalancing of that. And that's why you're being called to both work, but also not work. We have to trust each other by trusting God, by trusting the universe, which is what I said before. All the things I'm saying are connected. They just might be scattered around, scatterbrained. Then we have strength, which keeps coming out. The 35 that I mentioned before adds up to the number 8, which is, infinity for me, forever, a forever love. And it's 2 people or two living creatures in this card. It's clarified by envy. This is something that I mentioned the other day to a reading that I did for myself about how we have to remember that we are both the master, like the lion tamer, and the lion in the cage who people fear. We're both of these things. And I feel like we've been envying other people for being what we already are. I actually wrote a song like that called Strange. And I feel like I never sang it the right way, but the idea was just that we keep searching for in other people things that we already are and that we already have. And so if you're doing that, just recognize that for what it is, and remember that you have all those qualities that you love about somebody else. And then if you don't have those qualities, you have other qualities that are just as equal, just as good. I don't even know if good is a good word. Just as valuable, I will say, as the qualities that somebody else has. I think a lot of times we underestimate our worth and our value when people take something from us, whether it's their time, their energy, their money, we forget that they're also losing us. They're losing time with us. Like, don't forget that you are valuable too. As a message from Spirit, and let go of envy, because you already have it. And this might take some time. At 7-Eleven, I just saw, it won't be this perfect thing. It's okay, just keep being with it when it comes up. Don't judge it. Don't try to use it to do something, to yourself, to make yourself more like somebody else, or to hate on somebody else. Just be with it and say, hey, I see you. Okay, that's it. And just, it'll fade off on its own, I think, because it's like when a child has a temper tantrum. If the child keeps seeing that you aren't paying attention to them when they keep having a temper tantrum, they're like, oh man, this method is not working to get my lollipop. So I guess I'm gonna have to go off somewhere else. Just keep doing that. I have so much stuff to say. I don't know if I should say it or not. I think I'll just let it go for now. Then we have Six of Swords, which came out in a reel that I posted recently. I keep saying 11 on the clock over and over and over. This is a reel that I did about messages for the light workers. It's with the song Wildflowers by Lana Del Rey, if you want to go look at that one. I feel like this one is supposed to go in reverse. It's like this energy of like feeling like you needed to run away or get away from something. And I feel like I keep getting the dragons from Game of Thrones. She was the Targaryens from the Game of Thrones, the dragon girl with the blonde, bleach blonde hair. She did a lot of like the whole seasons or whatever. I didn't finish the whole thing. It was too gory for me. But it's like the whole time she was trying to get back on her throne. And I feel like it was like a homecoming story. And I feel like what this card is saying from Spirit is like, you don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to convince anybody of anything other than yourself, really, that you deserve. Like, it's a homecoming feeling. What's this card? 6th chakra, Archangel Metatron, number 40, which is the crown chakra, if I'm not mistaken. What's it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that third chakra? Third eye chakra. Opening. And remembering, I feel like it's an integration of you becoming the frequency of your home versus your home coming to you. Because as I said in my Divine Feminine Gaslighting thing, if you are the creator, my gaslighting video, then what you believe, you have to believe and imagine something first before you see it. Just think, if you are God, you're just this energy out in space. And this is divine energy oracle card. You're God, you're just this energy in space. You have to believe something and be the frequency of it before it can be put out, like before it can be real. And I feel like that's what it is here for you. I feel like you also might be getting downloads through your third eye chakra, like about creative things to do, maybe what to wear, what to eat, different recipes and stuff like that. First through you, and then you bake the cake. Then you go and design that clothing, wear, or whatever. You remember your home, and then your home can be, I don't know, shown out of you. I don't know, it's just this feeling of like trickery. I'll give a different example because I feel like I need to say this the right way. It's like, let's say you have been in this castle your whole life, but you don't think it's not your castle. You've been told that it's not your castle. You're just a servant there, lower ranking, and you're tasked with the chores and the cleaning. And your whole life you dream about escaping going somewhere else, building your own land. And with this Six of Swords leaving in card in reverse, it's like you have to, it's actually inverted. That castle is actually your home and your birthright. And it's the people in here that they don't belong, which is just really negative beliefs that tell you that you aren't enough, that you don't deserve. Those people gotta get out. This is it's like reclaiming your space. You have to remember and be in that vibration of royalty to remember that you're already in the castle. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm gonna leave it at that. Going on to the next one. We have Ten of Swords. I heard when I picked this card, you should be relieved. That's what I heard from Spirit when I got this card. You should be relieved. I think me and a lot of people, we don't look forward to this Ten of Swords card. But I'm hearing Spirit say, if you only knew, which I think we are, a lot of us coming to terms with understanding, if you only knew, like, how held back and not, I don't know, if you only knew, like, that you were already in hell and this was the key, this got you out of it, you would be so happy. And I feel like that's what I keep tapping into when I feel those blissful moments. It's like, let me try to think of something. I can only think of like marriage or The Good Place. I don't want to offend anybody with the marriage, but you know, I might bring it up. But the show The Good Place, if you've seen season 1 or 2, spoilers if you haven't, the whole time they're in the good place, they're just trying to figure out, why am I in the good place? I think Eleanor, she takes all these ethics classes. She's trying to be this good person, but she's not, because she keeps lying and she keeps stealing and she keeps doing these things. And it just makes her feel guilty because she's supposed to be in this good haven place. And then finally they realize that the whole time they have been in the bad place. And that thing that they were avoiding, like being found out, was actually the key to them getting out of that. Does that make sense? So if you have some sort of big crescendo, some sort of climactic place, I know I have, where something that you were dreading, not wanting to happen, actually happened or is about to happen, Spirit is saying, be grateful. Because I, you know, all of us, you just got yourself out of that. You just got yourself out of it. It's clarified by, yep, Angel of Balance. Just got swooped up and saved. Angel of Balance, and also Man Holding Heart. You know what I just thought of? I just thought of Tangled, the Rapunzel movie, Disney. Also, sorry if I'm spoiling it, but it's like the whole time the mother kept telling Rapunzel, if you go out that door into the world, or the window, whatever, that you will find monsters who will hunt you down and make you feel terrible, and they'll rip you apart, and they'll steal, and they'll lie, and they'll take from you. She's just telling her this the whole time. And so Rapunzel's terrified of like going out into the world. But then one day this thief stumbles in, and like he was the epitome of like what her mom had warned about. And now he's finally there. He arrived. It happened. And little does she know, like that moment was the balancing. It was the resetting of the story when she went out. And it's like, yeah, stuff can be scary, but I can overcome those. I can overcome those things. I'm stronger. And I also feel like it's gonna reveal to you a higher truth than even you were expecting or anticipating. Again, like Rapunzel, she just wanted to see the floating lights. That's the only reason why. She was like, I feel like I want to go see the floating lights. And when she gets there, she learns like she has this whole kingdom, a mom and a dad, a family, like who've been waiting for her. Like you get this bigger package. Like if you had stayed, your thoughts and your dreams were much smaller. But once this happened and you get out of it and it gets rebirthed and rebalanced with this Angel of Balance, you get delivered something that was like your highest dream that you didn't even know that you wanted to happen. Okay? Any last messages, Spirit? feeling this one? What does the collective need to know right now, please? Contract. Again, scales, balancing. Storm warning in reverse. Things are being cleared out. If it's raining near you, if it's cloudy sky near you, if you've seen any storm reports, hopefully you can stay safe. I'm wishing you safe blessings, safe life, everybody around you, everybody you love, safety. But these are all signs, even if you see movies with storms, things are being cleared out. Do not fear them. Be grateful for them. Celebrate, because that means that right behind it, and I feel this now, and my soul makes me emotional. Right behind it is miracles. I'm telling you, I'm seeing a vision now in my mind of like, you're scared of like this hurricane or something approaching because it's gonna mess up everything. But what it does, it sweeps all this clutter and junk out of the way, and underneath that sand dune or whatever, or underneath that infrastructure that you were holding on to so tight, it's just beautiful treasure. Beautiful treasure. And this is happening. God is doing this for us, with us. Spirit is doing this with us, for us. And if you're angry at me for saying this, sometimes I get angry at myself for believing this, because it's hard. It's okay. It's okay. You know, please don't direct it at me. But it's okay. Please don't judge yourself if you get upset and you get impatient. All of it is accepted. All of it is welcome. And then when it feels like, when it's time and it knows it doesn't belong anymore, those doubts and those negative beliefs, they will leave because you no longer need them anymore. Okay? Does that make sense? It's okay. Please don't judge yourself too harshly. Allow yourself to be upset, because not allowing it just squeezes it in and it's just going to remain there, versus if you just hold it out like a little bird. Oh, look at you. And eventually when it's time, it'll fly away. Okay, so this has been your spiritual download. Leave a comment if this resonated. I know it's crazy. I'm kind of excited. I don't know. And give this a thumbs up. And I'll see you next time. Bye.